Frazier and Dieter for 25 years. During his professional career, Valerie has continued to actively support Georgia Tech as an AT Life member with a men's basketball scholarship that he endowed several years ago. He's also been involved in several facility projects and continues to be passionate about the Jackets. If you don't believe me, just watch him on the East Baseline Thursday night when an official makes a bad call on the Clemson game. Please welcome Sean Fowler.
Thank y'all so much. I'm honored to be here tonight to share with each of y'all why our family endowed a men's basketball scholarship. I believe it's a result of three things: my goals as a child, a principle my mom taught me at a young age, and my love for Georgia Tech. 40 years ago, we moved to Atlanta, and I was in second grade. And that year, our teacher wanted us to write down on a note card what we wanted to do when we got older. And I actually have that actual note card here. Well, to verify, it's old. This is what I wrote. I said, I'm going to college at University of San Francisco, UCLA, or Arizona State. That part didn't come true, thank goodness. I want to play basketball. When I get out of college, I want to play pro basketball for the New York Knicks, the Milwaukee Bucks, or the Los Angeles Lakers. I want to be 7 feet 3 inches tall. You can appreciate that. I want to weigh 217 pounds. I'm going to be a bachelor. I'm going to live in a house. And I'm going to live in New York in the off-season. Well, none of those came true except the fact I live in a house. And the last time I checked, I measured myself against Daniel. I don't think I'm quite 7 feet 3. But what came out of that was the goal that I had to play pro basketball didn't come through, but my passion for basketball came through. So when I look at why we endowed the scholarship, the first piece of that was my passion for basketball. Secondly, my mom always taught me growing up, she always said, everything we have is a gift from God. So she encouraged us to give back. And she said, I'd give back 10%. And I remember that really hit home with me when I got my first job in high school. I worked at Dairy Queen. And I came home, I had a check for $102. I thought I was pretty rich. I had over $100. And my mom said, remember to give back. So I remember taking part of that first check and giving back. And throughout my high school and also college when I was working through Georgia Tech, I made sure to give back. And it's something these past 25 years that I've been with the accounting firm of Frazier and Dieter that I've continued to do. And fortunately, my wife believes in that same principle, so as we made a little bit more money, we try to give a bigger percentage back. So when I look at the scholarship, not just the passion of basketball, but the value and principle of giving back really played into it. But the third piece of that was my love of Georgia Tech. Growing up in Atlanta, and once I realized, I think I wanted to go out west because I wanted to be as far away from home as possible when I said I wanted to go to UCLA or Arizona State. But once I realized that Georgia Tech was where I needed to be, in elementary school and also in high school, I attended a lot of Georgia Tech events, sporting events. And in college, there was rarely a time when I missed a sporting event. And since the 25 years I've been out, I've probably become even more passionate about it. In fact, my wife, Laura, who's here tonight, can speak to that firsthand. Our third date, we started dating about a year after I got out of Tech, was a Georgia Tech, Georgia basketball that we won in the old Omni. And less than 11 months later, we were set to be married on November 3rd, 1990 at 4 p.m. Well, 3 or 4 weeks before the wedding, Georgia Tech that same day was playing #1 ranked Virginia in Charlottesville. And they announced that game was going to be the game of the week and was going to be on, at the time CBS did not do the SEC, and also was going to be the national broadcast of the week, both on radio and TV. So I told her, I said, I don't know if anybody's going to be at our wedding because I think all my friends are going to be watching that game. So she reluctantly agreed to move the wedding up to that Friday night, the day before. The next afternoon, the day of the game, we were going to drive up to Boone, North Carolina for our honeymoon, so she said, please don't watch or listen to the game. And I assured her that would happen. Well, that afternoon, we're driving up to Boone, North Carolina. She probably saw the sweat coming off my face. And she said, you want to watch the game, don't you? I said, yes. So we pulled over at a gas station in Spartanburg, South Carolina to watch the fourth quarter, see Scott Sisson kick the winning field goal to propel us to the national championship, which we were at 2 months later in Orlando. So clearly, Georgia Tech played a major role in both my wedding and my honeymoon. So, anyway, and the funny thing, and I want to get to, this is PG rated here, but I had to guarantee her I'd buy her fireworks in Spartanburg. So I won't talk about the other fireworks, but anyway. So I want to thank her that these last 22 plus years that she's put up with my insane passion for Georgia Tech. And in fact, Laura, I can't think of a better way to spend Valentine's than with two of my loves, you and Georgia Tech basketball. So, as you can tell, when we talk about endowing the scholarship, my passion for basketball, the principle of giving, and my love of Georgia Tech, it made perfect sense for 5 years ago to approach Mindy Hyde, who, by the way, is the best in the business, about endowing the Georgia Tech men's basketball scholarship. And I can tell you what an honor it's been with the tremendous student athletes that have been the recipient of that award. And we actually, 3 of them are here tonight. Mufan Udofia, who we had for 2 years, Brandon Reed, who was last year's recipient, and Marcus Georges Hunts, who's this year's recipient. And the way y'all handle yourself both on and off the court makes myself, as an alumni and a donor, very, very proud, because you represent the finest institution in the entire country with the finest respect toward that institution. So I want to thank y'all. And I also and not just the 3 of them, but all of these student athletes. And one of them, I won't embarrass him, but I've known him since he was 2 years old. And, you know, he was going to Tech games back then. But I want to thank all of y'all for the way you handle yourselves, because you take pride, and as Orwin and the other lady said, this is the best place in the entire world to get an education. And I mean, they come from Croatia, they come from Phoenix City, they come from Atlanta. So it's just tremendous what Georgia Tech offers. And I also want to encourage you that when you get out and start making money, to consider giving back and endowing a scholarship so future athletes can experience and reap the same benefits that you all have reaped. And in closing, the front of this card talked about my passion for basketball. Well, all I had to do was turn over the back of the card, and it really told me what I was going to do, which is somebody that was going to love numbers and be an accountant, which I've been for the last 25 years. Because I must have finished the assignment early, because I did long division. This is way before calculators. 22 divided by 64 equals 0.343 with the remainder of 48. So because of this, following my dream of numbers, I've been able to give back. So thank you. Go Jack.
Laura, God bless you. There are a few of you in here that have dealt with it. You know who you are. I think it's a small but very exclusive club. Donors, tonight at your table,